Hello. I have subverted your expectations, but stuff still happens. So what's up? Medical science. Pretty cool. So they made a bunch of stuff that is blowing my mind. First of all, how's your brain? Is it 2 or 3 dimensions? Because apparently when researchers are doing like neurological research, they use mostly a like 2-dimensional representation of how neurons interact. Stick with me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Drug researchers are trying to figure out how your neurons interact, right? And so they do medicine on a model of a brain and see what happens. And there's a lot of promising research until we actually try to transition to actual people. And then a lot of promising drugs just kind of fall apart and don't do the thing we wanted them to do. We have 3D models also, but they're not super wonderful. But a new company is making some sort of new synthetic 3D model that is easier to control, something. But long story short, it might help us have a higher chance of actually getting to a cure for like Alzheimer's. So that's neat. But also, what if your legs were wireless? Finally, a dream we can believe in. A paralyzed man is walking again because a Swiss research team has given him a brain and spine implant that allows his brain to wirelessly communicate to his legs. My dude got the Wi-Fi legs DLC. Quite literally, he can just think the thoughts and it transfers wirelessly to an implant in his spine that then uses his existing nerves to control his legs, just bypassing the wire in his spine that would normally carry that connection. Dude's like walking now, and he seems pretty happy about it. Neat. A whistleblower at Tesla has shared 100 gigabytes of files with a German news outlet. These files show fairly concretely that Tesla has been routinely covering up tons of complaints from customers about deadly glitches with their cars. They're covering up these complaints and making sure that they're not leaving a trail. Most of their communication policies are all verbal. So there's a lot of people who are like, I have nothing to go to court with because they just said everything over the phone. There is nothing in writing. Literally in these documents, there are situations where Tesla vehicles themselves said, I glitched the hell out and started accelerating without warning. And then Tesla was like, I'm just gonna go ahead. That didn't happen. It's fine. Now, thankfully, the news outlet that's doing this is German, and so they fall under EU regulation, which is much more lenient about publishing whistleblower documents that incriminate a company. Elon Musk and Tesla reportedly fought very hard to make sure that this stuff didn't get published. The founder of a fascist militia group is going to jail for 18 years for organizing January 6th. Stuart Rhodes, the founder of the Oath Keepers, which is a fascist militia group, is going away because the courts see him as a terrorist now. He is one of many people who spent several weeks orchestrating January 6th as a planned, premeditated attack. As a reminder, they found weapon caches around DC. Rhodes and his Oath Keepers were involved and did the thing, and now they're in jail and he's going away for 18 years. The end. Not the end, though. Surprise, here's a little addendum. I just like this interaction between the judge and Rhodes himself. When given a chance to show remorse, Rhodes instead referred to himself as a political prisoner. To which the judge said, "You are not a political prisoner. Truly, the marketplace of ideas." Apparently, even TikTok is not safe from the AI chatbot hype. TikTok has announced that they're working on their own generative AI chatbot to go into the app, because every app needs to have a chatbot now. They're going to call it Tako, T-A-K-O, and it's apparently going to help with content discovery. The whole point of TikTok is content discovery. You do it already. I don't need a chatbot. I just want to scroll. Anyway, it's in super early testing, and they say that they don't have any concrete plans for it, which is probably because their investors are saying, hey, you need to put AI into your app. And they're like, where? How? On this day in 1865, the last general of the Confederate Army in the American Civil War surrendered. Edmund Kirby Smith, a man who took up the position of general in an army fighting to keep people as property, surrendered and then promptly fled to Mexico and Cuba to avoid treason charges. He did, however, eventually return and was granted amnesty and then lived out the rest of his life in peace, which doesn't really make sense. He became a professor and grew plants, and then he died of pneumonia. Lightning round! The Twitter-based campaign announcement for DeSantis' 2024 campaign was a technical disaster with tons of outages and issues. Meta is kicking off its 3rd round of layoffs. A GOP-led panel of lawmakers in Texas have issued 20 articles of impeachment for their attorney general because of the crimes he did. Shaq has been formally served papers as a part of the class action lawsuit against him for his involvement in the FTX implosion. An 11-year-old boy was shot in the chest by a cop after calling the cops for help during a domestic dispute between his parents. He is alive, he is in the ICU, and he is confused as to why he was shot. Rapper Fetty Wap has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for a drug trafficking scheme. PlayStation had a big announcement event, they announced a whole bunch of stuff, and the thing that I'm excited about is a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, and also Nathan Fillion is returning to Destiny. And finally for today, you can live out your dream of playing Tetris on a chicken nugget if you go to a McDonald's in China. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Stuff Keeps Happening and to StuffKeepsHappening.online for sources, bonus content, and spicy wasabi trail mix. My name is Endeavorance. I'll be back on Monday. Take care and be well.